tough season. I don't think no one came into the season thinking we would make the tournament. But it's a process. You know, I've been around basketball a long time. I've seen a lot of basketball games, been a part of basketball games as a player and coach. And sometimes things just don't work out. Meaning, and I'm not one for excuses, but when you lose your senior point guard, it's tough. And you have to rely on the freshman point guard who played his ass off, gave up. Let's give him So I'm sick at the stomach going through the summer knowing that we didn't make the tournament last year. I didn't come here for that. So a lot had to be done this summer in terms of getting into the portal and making sure we're not in this position again this time this season. So I ask that you hang in there with us. You know, and it's obvious you're here supporting us, which I truly appreciate. But I got a lot of work to do this summer to make sure that we're not in that position again. All right, so
what appealed to these players that you've been able to recruit out of the portal and brought into the university?
Let me just say this. It's a different day. It's a different time in college sports. You know, I think back to when I came to IU. You know, I didn't really come to IU because of Indiana University. I came to IU because of Bob Knight. I really did. And those days, they're gone. You know, and, you know, Bob Knight basically shaped my career, shaped me as a man, on and off the court. That's why I came to Indiana. I wouldn't have played for the best coach in college basketball, and he was. And I still do. But when I look at these young players today that you're recruiting, there's a lot that you gotta sell. Yeah, I gotta sell this university, I gotta sell education, because I still think that's something that's missing with a lot of these young players. You don't get talked enough about. And when I'm selling them to come here, they look at me as the coach. Can I lead them? Can I help them get to that next step? And I've been there. I spent 34 years of my life. What better person to come to play for? It's kind of how I look at it. I don't mean that in a braggadocious way. So when I set out along with my staff this summer, we kind of treated it like the NBA. You know, we ranked the top guards, the ones, the twos, the threes. We ranked the 4-man, the 5-man. I'm talking about position, when really in basketball, there's really no position the way we play today. And in ranking them, I wanted the best players to wear an Indiana uniform. And when I first got the job, my coaches would tell me, well, you had to wait your turn. Well, I never believed that. Win or lose, I've always felt as a coach, I can go get a player who's willing to listen and learn and make him a better player. And it was a process this summer in fielding the players. I went and tried to get the best players, the best perimeter players, like Miles, and then Kane and Carlisle. You know, those two guys were players that have done it a year, were very well thought of in their conference, and it was a different type of player than those two that we hadn't had since I've been here. And they remind me of players that I've coached throughout my career as a coach in the NBA. So these guys got a chance to be pretty damn good players for us. And I just got to put them in the right position to be successful. That's what it's about. Wallow, considered the #1 center in the portal. It was grumblings that, hey, he might go in the portal. And I told my coaches, well, hell, if he do, we better be sitting at the table. And as soon as he went in, I made the call. He gave me an opportunity to bring him to campus. That's the beauty about Indiana University campus, man. You get them down here, you got a shot. And we got him here, and he never left. So I'm pleased, Don, and everyone in the room, with the players that we fielded this summer, knowing that there's a lot of work still ahead. I mean, we had 10 new faces last year through my walk on, and we got about 6 or 7 this year. So a lot of work has got to be done, but I feel good.
In regard to Ballo, obviously you've had Trace, now Khalil, really good centers, really good post players. What are the similarities or differences with Ballo compared to those two guys?
More mature. You know, Trace Jackson Davis had to grow into it. Ware is an untapped player. We got him from Oregon. Where he said he was lazy, he didn't want to work. Shit, after the first month, he knew what work was all about. And the progress that he made has propelled him now as a potential first-round draft pick. So he made a major jump. But this Ballo man is a man. He's an older man that's won at a high level. He's well coached. He wanted to be here. He wanted to play, continue to play on a big stage. It'll be much bigger than Indiana basketball. And I think he's a leader. You know, the only time will tell. But just from a basketball standpoint, he's very knowledgeable of the game. He rebounds, he blocks shots, he can score the ball. He runs the floor. He does everything that you want in a big. So I just gotta not screw it up and help him.
Prioritize high school recruiting now with the transfer portal as much involvement as you have to get in with that.
You still gotta stay serious about high school players. There's a number of players that we recruit here in the state and around the country that you gotta stay involved with. And, you know, my thing is, if I'm a high school player today, and if Mike Woodson offers me a scholarship to come to Indiana, shit, I'm saying, I'm coming, like, right now. That's being real because the portal has changed the game. It really has. And we're recruiting the best players here in our state. They've all been offered scholarships, but they got to make the commitment, you know. And I'll continue to knock on the doors and pick up the phone, call these young men, and invite them to Indiana University, and make sure that we're doing all the necessary things to secure these kids to wear a uniform at Indiana. But they got to say yes, you know. And if they do, they'll wear a uniform, and I'll be happy as hell. But the way the process is now, if they don't, you can't stop there. You know what I mean? That's why the portal is where it is. That's why it has put us in the position that we're in today.
Mackenzie and Mako has been talked about tonight a couple of times. He struggled a little bit as a freshman, but grew over the year pretty dramatically, especially getting co-Big Ten Freshman of the Year honors at the end of the season. Talk about how his development took place over the course of the year and what realistic expectations are for this upcoming season.
You know, I think back when we started with that young man, you know, everybody, they put these tags on these young men. Hey, he's a 5-star freshman. What the hell does that mean? Really? You know, let's not knock how they set the system up. You still got to play the game. And it's a major jump from high school to college. It's a major jump from college to the NBA. I'm a guy that lived it. And that guy came in here and the media just, they weren't right. I'll be the first to say that. And I know you people are here. You didn't do it right. And that kid had to learn the college game just like all high school kids have to. And he made the turn, he made the jump. His improvement from where he started to where he finished is amazing. And he had a lot to do with it, the hard work that we pushed him, my staff and I. He was right on time, man. I mean, so I can't help but think this upcoming season he'll make another jump. He's been working his butt off this summer. You know, I couldn't be more proud of the kid because, again, it wasn't right some of the things that were said about him early on. And he continued to work through it, and he got better. I can't help but think we'll continue to get better as he gets better as well.
Coach, during your tenure, you got the program back to the NCAA tournament, following a 5-year absence in the back and back in the conversation with the best high school and transfer portal players. As you look toward the program taking the next step, what is your formula for success for the program and its quest to win those championships?
It takes a little luck. It takes the team to be healthy. It takes having talent, which we've had talent. Probably not as much as I want, but this summer we have added a lot of talented players. First time since I've been here, I can truly say that. And only time will tell. We start June 3rd. We got an 8-week program that we go through every summer. And they'll get a chance to know Mike Woodson and his staff in terms of pushing them and getting them ready to go for this upcoming season. That's what I'm looking forward to because it's exciting times here in Indiana again, and I want to keep it that way.
Coach, just a quick final question. How's Trey Galloway doing? Obviously, he had some surgery. It was pretty significant, I understand. And I'll think about the other players thinking about Matthew Conner.
No, he's on the mend. He's working, rehabbing to get back out on the floor. I'll get more of an update tomorrow when we get in the office there and see exactly where he is. But he's working. That's all I can tell you. And he's a big piece to the puzzle based on his play over the last few years. But he's got some help now, and that's the beauty about what we've done this summer in terms of going into the portal and adding guys that we've added.
All right, Coach, I told you before, I'm really excited about this upcoming season. Just like I'm about football, I think Indiana University's got something special coming up this new year.
Well, thank you. I want to thank everybody in here, too, your family and your staff. My executive assistant is here in the house. Stand up, thank you. All of our athletes, Miles, I see you back there, Anthony, thanks for coming down. You had a lot of work. Just whisper in his ear, because we're going to really bust his butt. This is not Washington State. Nick, where's Nick? Nick works for me in my office there. RJ, thanks for coming down. Adams, and last but not least, my coach, Miss Woodson.